Well, hello YouTube, and welcome to another video on my channel. I made a bunch of really cute cards and bookmarks and even a sketchbook out of my pile of ugly art and swatch sheets. And I want to show you how I did all that. So that's what I'm going to do today. So settle in and stay tuned. If you've got a pile of ugly artwork and swatch sheets that you've collected over the past 6 months or 6 years or 6 decades. Stay tuned because we're going to bust through your stash today, or at least try to bust through some of it. That's what I tried to do. I tried to bust through some of my stash. So if you're like anything like me, you have a pile like this of, just swatch sheets, maybe some ugly artwork, pieces of paper that are just too nice for you to part with. I just can't throw any of this stuff out. And I'm really glad that I didn't. And I'm glad that I don't. To me, this is really good, art supplies material that can be really reused and repurposed. And also this is, there's a lot of learning that happened in this pile. So about twice a year, so that my pile doesn't accumulate too much, I go through it and I make lots of stuff out of my pile of ugly art, pretty art, swatch sheets, stuff that's I just can't get rid of. And I make stuff out of it. I make cards, I make bookmarks, I make sketchbooks. And I'm going to show you how I do that, a lot of that today. And the whole point of today is to use what you have and to use it up. So, anything that you see in this video, I'm sure you have something similar to use at home. Really just use what you have. That's the whole point and the whole fun of it. So, I spent the day yesterday making some things. I mean, not all day, but I spent some time yesterday making some things, and I'm going to show you what I made, and I'm going to show you how I made it. So I guess I'll start here. This is probably the easiest, most self-explanatory. This clearly was just a swatch sheet that I cut down, and I used double-sided tape to attach. Now, again, use what you have. If you have glue, use it. I used up this, I'm trying to use up this glue. I mean, there's hardly any left, so yay. But yeah, use your glue. This is just a piece of craft paper. This is actually a card, like a pre-made card that I had in an envelope that I'm using up. But you can certainly make your own, like I did here. Now, this one here, I made out of a swatch card. So this, well, that was a swatch card too, but this is actually the Kuretake Gansai Tambi Art Nouveau set. These are the first 6 colors of the Art Nouveau set. And my girlfriend's birthday is today, actually. So this is her birthday card, and this is how this video started, as I made her this birthday card. And I often do birthday cards like this. I will make them for my friends. And I cut up a swatch card and added some glitter watercolor to it, turned it into a candle, and then just used double-sided tape on a piece of cardstock that's been folded here. So you really don't need like a pre-made card or anything. This is what my girlfriend is getting today. It's her birthday. So after this video, I'm going to her party and I'm going to deliver this. Incidentally, I will show you her gift because it's just too good. And I want to share it with you before it goes. Oh, this is what I got her. So how cute is this? I know this isn't like busting your stash, but I had to show it because cats. So this genius here wrote cat hair hats for cats, and it's like a felting thing. Is that hysterical? Talk about busting your stash, right? So like these people like took their old cat hair and decided to felt it into cat hats. And the book is fabulous, and it's actually like really instructional. The Queen. My favorite is the snail. Oh, look, Princess Leia. I mean, they're all hysterical. I'll give a quick flip through. I'm sorry. I know I'm going to really try hard not to get caught here. But anyway, my favorite is the snail hat. I'll just let you know. Maybe we'll flip to it. There it is. Here it is. Oh, the snail. Okay. So that's what my friend's getting. And she's getting that. And she's also going to get a bookmark to go with it. Now this, I like, I don't know which one I'll give her, but I made two. This one, I thought my swatch card looked like macarons. So I decided to try and make them into macarons. And I wonder, I hope that looks like macarons. A stack of macaron cookies. You know, very, very illustrative. But I essentially cut out my swatch sheet here and then turn those into a stack of cookies. Can you see that? And then I took double-sided tape and I stuck it to a piece of toned tan mixed media paper. And I actually happened to have the sleeves for bookmarks because I make a lot of them, and the tassels. But seriously, you can just punch a hole at the end and put a ribbon, or even just leave this as a bookmark. You don't need to add anything to it. You really, really don't. I've given plenty of bookmarks just like this, just plain like this, without any sleeve. Or you can even laminate it with, if you don't have a laminator like I don't, I used packing tape. I use packing tape. I use it a lot. I need a new one, to cover this. So this is a sketchbook that I made. And, sorry, I'm just trying to keep everything straight here. So I made this sketchbook, and this is 100% watercolor paper in my sketchbook. I held it together with a little fastener, and this is, again, just mixed media paper. It was a scrap piece of paper. I decided to reinforce it with some packing tape, and this I used, I'll show you. So, and I was going to show you how I made it. So I used this punch to, I don't have a whole lot of crafting supplies, you know, like I only have a few, and I'll tell you why in here in a second. But, you know, so really use what you got. This is one of two punches that I have, y'all. I have this one and a heart one that were gifted to me. So, you know, when I spend money, I spend money on art supplies, not necessarily crafting supplies. So the few crafting supplies that I have, a lot of them have been handed down to me or gifted or whatnot. But anyway, point is use what you have. So this again was just more swatches, and I punched out a bunch of flowers. It's gonna be loud. And and isn't that pretty? Glued them on to some paper and then folded it so that I could make a swatch or a sketchbook. Because when you go through your stash, chances are you will have a bunch of paper that is still usable. You see that there? Like all this is like usable paper that I can cut off and continue to use. So see, like, look, this is 100% watercolor paper, and that's usable. And for instance, you could even put this into your sketchbook. It doesn't have to be all, you know, right, even side papers or right side, you know, same size papers. These are all odd sizes of papers that I cut off and salvaged from my swatch sheets and ugly artwork. What I did is I only poked two holes in here with a piece of yarn, you know, or string, so that I can like make my art and take it out and refill it with different pieces of paper, different kinds of paper. You see, as many pieces of paper as I want in there. So, and then I can also have finished pieces of artwork. If I like it, I can pull it out and just kind of tear these two in half here. And that's a piece of art that I can either hang or give away or something. So I want to show you real quick how I did the rest and how I made this. Oh, also this one here, I'll move the bookmarks aside. So those were that. And then here, these were just circles, swatch circles that I took. I got these glaze pens that I have. Didn't buy special for this project or whatever, but these are just some pens. You can use some, you know, whatever gel pens you have. And I drew like a little rose or a flower of some sort on the top. And I will show you how easily I did that and how I did that. Excuse me. So here, this is one of the circles that I used. I think that one's orange, so we'll get the red. So what I did here is you can just draw any kind of flower, and I like to start with just kind of maybe 3 little centers. Like start with the center of the flower. Do kind of maybe some dots to indicate a stamen or whatever that part is. And then, pardon me, it's the morning. And then just kind of draw some petals. So I've got 3 there started, and then I'm going to overlap this gap here from one petal, and I'm going to hit it to the center of the next, and again, and again. And then I'm going to draw a line from this petal to that petal and bridge the 2 together, and keep working around, bridging one petal to the next to overlap. And the petals, as they move out, pardon me, out towards the, as the petals move towards the outside of the flower, they're going to get thinner and closer together, maybe a little bit longer, maybe not so. So when they're not so long, do you see how I'm drawing from one and then down from the top of one and then bridging over, rather than making it just kind of like a type of flower dealy going like this? I'm trying to, well, I hope you understand what I'm saying. Bridging from the center of one petal to the next, right? You don't want them to meet like from one petal to one petal like that. You want them to go from the center of one petal to the center of the next petal. And that will give it a more, I don't know, it will read flower, hopefully. So hopefully that reads, you know, kind of an illustrated flower to you all. So this stuff, these glaze pens, they're neat. They stay shiny, they stay wet looking. So if you can see that. So these aren't wet, it's actually kind of like this raised kind of glossy embossed look. So those are fun. And then these, I just, again, cut petals out of swatches, green swatches. And this is thick watercolor paper. Now with this, I actually used glue to keep it down. And this is just on a piece of paper. So I'll mount this to something else. I can use this to put on the front of my sketchbook, on the inside of a sketchbook. So there's like a million uses for these things. You don't just have to make greeting cards and bookmarks and gifts, right? So that's probably what I'll do with this. I'll probably put this on the inside of a sketchbook, you know, and yeah, and enjoy it that way. Here, what I did after this, can I find my scissors in this sea of mess? Just cut it out, right? Just cut it out. This is what I've been doing during the heat wave. I'm in Portland. I hope you are staying cool wherever in the world you are. And it is going to be 101 degrees today. And so, yeah, it was like 100 degrees yesterday. It was crazy. So this is what I do during the heat waves. I generally, you know, clean through my stash, like during the summertime, when it's too hot to do anything else and too hot to think creatively and things like that. I will go through my stash, and then I do it again, or like before the holidays, and kind of clean things out. And I make a bunch of gift tags out of my stash, and holiday cards, postcards. I mean, I just, yeah. Do you do the same? What do you do with your stash when you're going through stuff? I mean, do you throw things out straight away? Do you put it in a burn pile? I mean, what do you do with your ugly art and other things like that? And what do you make out of it? You know, I'd really love to know, because I got, you know, stuck into the same old kind of crafts that I tend to make out of my stuff, I think. All right. So there's a little, you know, I have a few of these to use now. A few of these little, you know, and not everything that I make is really cute. And that's the fun thing, is that you can really experiment with stuff. Oh, where did I just put my ugly stuff? I'm telling you, I have like a sea of cuttings. Oh, here we go. So not everything that I make out of this, I think, looks great. So I'll show you. Oh, I thought that these swatches looked like caterpillars. I still think that they look like caterpillars. So I'm going to turn them into caterpillars. And I tried with the first one here by making this into a caterpillar. And, you know, I'm not thrilled with her derpy, you know, face. However, a friend of mine saw this and really liked it and thought it was adorable. This was their favorite. So they may just get this as a gift. But, you know, there's, you know, bookworms that you can make. And then, like I said, I'm not really a fan of how this came out. This was just, yeah, and that's okay, because this stuff was garbage anyway. So, you know, if it doesn't turn out, it's okay. So I did want to show you how I made this cute little, I think, cute little sketchbook that you can just, reusable sketchbook, and gift to your art friends and whatnot. And how am I doing on time? Let me see. Okay, so what I did for this is I took a piece of paper and I folded it in half. This was not technical, all right? So I had a scrap piece of paper and it looked like this. And I folded it in half like this. And I thought, I would like to make a book out of this. It was actually like that. So then I thought, all right, that's a good length of spine. And I folded that. And then I made this and I cut it evenly on this side here. And I was like, that's a book. And I glued on these little pieces of, I don't know that I'll be able, it will probably take me more time to get glue on this than just for you to understand what it is, because my glue's almost gone. I glued this on to my paper here. And for the sides, when I wanted them to come off the sides a little bit, I just glued it on like that and let it stay. And then I cut them off the back side like that when it was dry. Then I took an awl. You don't need an awl. You can use any kind of pokey tool, just be careful. And I poked a hole at the bottom and I poked a hole at the top like that. And because I wanted this to have some reinforcement here, I thought I'll use some packing tape. And I'm almost out. So we'll see how much we've got to, oh, look, yep, I don't know if I'm gonna have enough to cover the front, but I could use some Scotch tape. I have Scotch tape and I could use that if you don't have a fancy laminating device, which I don't. So I'm gonna cover that on the spine. Cut off the last bit of my packing tape. And then you can fold it over, and that's nice because it gives it a little extra reinforcement there. And this will be okay. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to give myself a little bit on the spine because I am going to buy another roll of packing tape, and I will finish this off because I want to keep it. I like it, actually. And so, yeah, I'm going to finish this project for myself. And I'll be able to easily do this after by just going in and laminating the rest of it with my fancy laminator tape. Now you can use, if you've got like a bone folder or like whatever you've got, like whatever soft tool to kind of press down. And that's just how I did. Just makes it a little bit nicer. And then you're gonna have like a, you see how much stiffer, and look at how it was foldable, right, and bendable, but even just adding a little bit of tape for reinforcement really strengthens this quite a lot. So don't poo-poo those little scraps of mixed media paper and things like, oh, I can't do anything with that. You certainly can. So then I'm gonna go back in and fold this again. And where's my bone folder? Well, oh, here it is. Sorry if you can hear that plane. And then I like to go both ways just because I really feel like adding that tape, it adds a lot of strength and bulk to the, sorry, I know I'm shaking the whole table and the camera. So here's that. And you can see how it's gonna open just a little bit, you know, even with the tape. So now I have, I just have some of this string that I had picked up off, I don't know, I think at the dollar store a long time ago. I picked up like this pack of string for $1. And look, even this, I actually painted this bookshelf and printed it just on printer paper, like 3, 10, 20, printed on like regular paper and covered a box. And, you know, so like, yeah, reuse your stuff. So I usually do like 3 lengths, and that's, or 3 times the length, which is more than enough. It really is. But just for good measure, for this, you know, intricate book binding gig. But you can use embroidery floss, like literally anything. You can, you know, pull a hoodie string. Don't throw off a hoodie string that fell out, you know, like a drawstring or something like that, because, you know, you don't even need a needle to thread it. You can, oh, also after there's tape, you want to poke holes again. Poke holes with your awl or whatever pokey tool you've got. And if you don't have a needle, you probably won't need a needle. You can, again, like whatever twine off of packaging, that would be cute to use, because you're not going to be threading this through any of the paper. So what I'm doing is I'm just creating like a tension band to hold the paper into place. So there's no real sewing required for this. I mean, I wouldn't call this sewing. This is, I think, just feeding a string through your paper, you know, because literally that's all there is to it. And just so I don't tie this too tight, I think what I'll do is I will put in my 3 little pieces of paper that I have salvaged and make sure that fits. Uh-oh, see, that's not gonna fit. So what I'll have to do is either use this in a different sketchbook or use a smaller piece of paper. Or trim that down, which I will do. I didn't even measure, y'all. Like, seriously, I am just over to the side, eyeballing it, and it's, hopefully it's gonna work. I mean, you can be as accurate as you want to be when you're not on video, you know. Yeah, look, see, so I just trimmed a little bit off the edges, right? Crisis averted. And then I'm going to tie a knot, but not maybe at the center, closer to the top, just because that's where I like it, you know. And you can pull it kind of taut, and you can tie that into a knot, or you can just tie that into like a bow. You know, it really is up to you. This is just a piece of string. You can, what's nice is that the binding is not hard to undo, and it is, or change out. It's not something that needs to last forever because it's just a piece of string. And it's easy enough to change out or cut off. Look, you know, I mean, and that's secure enough to hold that. So there's, again, no binding, and it's just hanging in there. And if you've got an extra little clip or something that you want to, you know, fasten it together with, I have, when I was with Kim Montes, we went shopping at Daiso together. I got these cute, tiny little mini binder clips, and I'm glad that I did. Because look, once it's laminated, that's like a sweet little sketchbook. Like, I'm sorry, y'all. I think that's so cute. And if somebody like made this and gave it to me, I would be over the moon, and I would treasure it forever. And it's nice, I think, because you can, you know, it's refillable. It's refillable. So look at that, little sketchbooks, great little stocking stuffers. I don't know. I would be thrilled to get one. How about you? Would you be thrilled to get one of these? Let me see if there's anything else that I wanted to show you. Any kind of, oh yeah. All right, so I could show you how I painted those, those candles, maybe. Let's see, what are we doing on time? Oh no, it's late. It's a long time. Well, I think then hopefully you get the idea, and hopefully you all see what I'm doing here. Thank you so much for staying with me for this crafty, fun video. Busting through your stash. Please let me know if you've done the same down below. Give me a thumbs up before you go. Comment, subscribes, all that jazz. And until next time, everybody, which will be soon, take good care. Bye.